drop, I know they gon' lean. World debut, I know they gon' fiend. Everything Mississippi to the Palm Springs. Girls from brunettes down to blonde queens. You know you like that. 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 You know you like that.
And welcome in to beautiful Oakland, California, here for the final week of the 2025 Western Ultimate League regular season. I'm Jenna Weiner, joined in the booth for the first time by Liz. Liz, welcome to the booth. So glad to have you here.
Thank you. My name's Liz Garfinkel. I'm a longtime Bay Area Ultimate player and super happy to be here for my first Falcons game.
Should be a good one. It's a season ender for both teams. The visiting Utah Wild taking on the hometown Bay Area Falcons. Falcons have already made it to championship weekend, secured their spot. They will be the fourth seeds going into championship weekend in a few weeks here in the Bay Area. Utah getting their first win of the season a couple weeks ago against Arizona, looking to notch their second of the season. Any thoughts looking forward ahead to this game? Conditions look pretty good, a little breezy.
Little breezy. I was expecting it to be more breezy, so perhaps the wind's going to pop up a bit while the sun starts going down, but pretty nice out right now.
Yeah, pretty good weather for Ultimate. We had an exciting showcase game here in the Bay Area for a Rising Stars showcase game beforehand. Now the teams are getting introduced. San Diego Super Bloom and Colorado Alpenglow at the top, both 5-0. Those two teams will play tomorrow to determine who will take the top seed going into championship weekend in 3 weeks' time. Seattle Tempest sitting in that third spot. They were, last I saw, up pretty big on Oregon Source, so Tempest looking to secure the second or third spot. And then the Falcons, you can see they're in the middle into championship weekend, courtesy of another close win against Oregon Soar. Falcons with two close wins against Oregon, but that's enough, Liz, to get them into championship weekend. They're going to be excited to be able to host San Diego, Colorado, and Seattle here in the Bay Area in a few weeks.
That will be a really exciting weekend of Ultimate because I believe that'll be the first time they've had the opportunity to play against the top two teams in the league right now, the teams who are one undefeated, one with just one win, one loss. So that should be an exciting weekend and a real test for the Falcons.
Yeah, Falcons not having crossed paths with either Super Bloom or Alpenglow this season, courtesy of 2 games against Seattle and 2 games against Oregon, as well as 1 against Arizona and Utah. And the Falcons will definitely have their hands full with whatever team takes down the top seed, takes down that game tomorrow in that matchup between San Diego and Colorado. Loser will be playing Seattle, by my understanding. There might be some weird things with tie breaks or such, but Super Bloom, Alpenglow with pretty decisive point differentials that should seed them in those top 2 spots pending results of tomorrow's game.
Correct. Yeah, they're really neck and neck there for that top spot, just a few points differential, so that'll be the big game for sure.
Should be a good one, so make sure to tune in to the Western Ultimate League's YouTube channel for that game tomorrow, happening at 11 a.m. Pacific time at Colorado. So San Diego having to win on the road against the defending champs. Teams getting introduced, lining up, captains meeting the observers in the middle of the field. We're going to step away for just a moment. When we come back, the opening poll for this game between the Utah Wild and the Bay Area Falcons. Don't go away. We'll be right back for the start of the first quarter.
Creatine is only for extreme athletes who eat dominance.
Actually, let's skip that part. Combat Candy is for everyone who trains hard and deserves better than choking down powder. 5 grams of science-backed creatine in a gummy that turns supplement routine into something to look forward to. Just because your workout is serious business doesn't mean your creatine supplements have to be. Combat Candy. Making strength frickin' delicious. Try it at combatcandies.com.
Welcome back to the Bay Area, the home team. Bay Area Falcons taking on the Utah Wild. Teams getting set, starting to huddle up. Wild will be in white, Falcons in their blacks. Liz, this should be a good game, and with windy conditions, we should be able to see the best of that these throwers have to offer. And boy, are there plenty of throwers on these two teams. Some of the standout names from the Falcons. You can see the roster on the left-hand side of the screen. Robin Fenig, Han Chen, going to be two of the main players running the show for the Falcons offensive line. Meanwhile, for Utah, expect to hear the name Paige Kircher over and over and over again. Kircher, one of the primary yardage getters for Utah, and just a couple weeks ago became the first player in Western Ultimate League history to surpass 10,000 total career yards receiving and throwing. And Liz, it's not even close. Kircher has over 2,000 more total yards than the next nearest player.
Wow.
In San Diego's Kayla Helton. So
wow.
Kircher, just an absolutely incredible all-around player. Just incredible for Wild. So expect to hear Kircher over and over again from us today.
That is a really exciting stat.
And teams already out on the line. Utah will be pulling in the whites, moving right to left across the field. A few reminders rules-wise. 7 seconds stall. Teams will swap who starts on offense each quarter. And possession rules at the end of the quarter as we get things underway here in the East Bay Area. Fenig, wide open player, near sideline, midfield. Saltzman, Falcons not far out. Saltzman, able to get the reset off to Ward. Talia Ward, finding Fenig. Fenig and Ward working in the backfield. Floated throw, Maru. Amanda Maru on the doorstep, resets to Fenig. Floaty throw!
Oh, nice.
And Pinwin Wong somehow able to come down within the crowd, but not able to get the final shuttle pass into the end zone. And Wild with the first break chance of the game.
That was unfortunate. They'd really moved the disc up fabulously up until that point.
Wild, big bid, incredible save by Bunderson for Wild. Anna McClurkin. And pick called.
Falcons really moved the disc up, gained a ton of yardage quickly, and then got a little bit held up at the end zone, and we had that really nice save, but unfortunate turnover. So Wild got their chance and are having a little bit more trouble bringing it up against the Falcon D.
And just off the hands of the intended receiver. That's McClurkin. Maru, near sideline. Maru into traffic. McClurkin able to get the block back for Wild. Wind's a little tough, and we're going to see a lot of this probably into this right-hand side corner. That's where the wind often pushes, and a stall called by the hand signals from Maru on Bunderson. Contested stall. We'll stay on the continuation with Justine Churik for Utah. Wind is up, folks. About 15 miles an hour per the current conditions, so we're definitely going to see some effect, Liz, over the course of this game.
15 is substantial.
And
another turn.
There you go, right? Immediate turn. Trying to get off the line. Fenig, Ward, and Maru trying to be acrobatic, unable to snare it.
Both teams struggling in this first point.
Teams maybe just trying to get adjusted to the conditions, get settled in as that throw floats over Cherwink. And the way throw for Ward does it. It's Khalees Cardenas with the assist. Falcons goal 1-0.
Yes, we definitely saw the wind play a factor there in that one throw. For the most part, it seems to be more human error than wind assisted at this point in that point. But Falcons recovered after that one soaring disc that they pulled down and quickly made the score.
Ward getting involved early with Fenig in the backfield, getting open for the score. Falcons doing a nice job of stymieing the Utah defense, but now Wild will get their first chance to work offense going downwind. Wind is pushing fairly left to right across the field. You'll get a chance to see it on some of the flags on the far side of the field as Falcons pull just past half field as the Utah offense will get to work. And Kircher picking up the disc. No surprise for Utah. Finds a receiver. That's Moulton. And big bid from Kircher for the save. Near sideline, marked by Lauren Greenwood. Meaty Chang almost with a foot block. Wild offense. Disc in the hands, Hrushnikova. And Kircher again.
All bids by Utah here.
Songer. Now center. The hands of Terpstra, back to Songer. Songer floating over the top, trying to find Mystique Williams. Williams not able to get to it as this carries with the wind, but we saw this from Utah. They had the break opportunity, and the Falcons defense locked down. Wild defense will get a chance to do just the same and try and keep the Bay Area in the short field.
We saw 3 fantastic bids in that point by Utah.
Paige Kircher absolutely doing the most, even if it's only for a few yards, to add to her 10K plus total. And miscommunication between McQuaid and Han Chen. Utah, a chance, quick score, goal for Wild. That's Terpstra with the assist for Utah as they tied up 1-1.
Unfortunate error there by the Falcons, but Utah was able to convert, make up for their overshot beforehand. So right now it's a win game, 2 downwind scores. See how the rest go.
And Terpstra on that initial assist, one of the standout young up-and-coming players for this Wild team, alongside Carly Atwell, a couple of Utah Sparrow Jetty players who will be competing at the D1 College Championships in just a week's time up in Burlington, Washington. So Terpstra getting an initial assist, probably just hoping to get some reps in and stay uninjured in this game, try and help Wild to their second win of the season. Ball from Utah goes pretty well past half field. And just in the hands of Melina Wiebe. And low throw, Pinwin Wong over the top. And just able to get the block is Utah.
96.
That would be Sadie Cutler with the nice chase down block. Side throw, McClurkin.
Nice break mark there.
Utah finding the way, but blocked by Ward. Earns the Falcons the disc back. And Ward directing traffic. This team gets set up to put the disc into play. Fenig. Trying to find Goss on the around, not able to do so. Disc back to Utah. Jammed on the sideline, able to get it off. It's the hands of Carrie Shelke. Stall called.
And the nice block there.
And Goss quick through to Wiebe for the goal. Falcons do convert after a couple of tries. 2-1 Bay Area.
Was that a bookend?
Certainly close to it.
We got the D, then the score.
Wiebe involved in a quick fast break opportunity for the Falcons.
This is a tight game, though. Both teams playing really tough defense and getting some blocks and some breaks.
Yeah, currently all downwind as both teams able to get their chances, but it's with this wind, folks. I know it's tough to tell from home, but the wind is pretty up, and especially on the field, it definitely can get swirly. So nothing that these players haven't seen before, but still takes some getting used to, even with warm-ups. I feel like sometimes the wind can just shift on you at the last second, and just have to get used to it over the course of the game. And 3 points in, Bay Area holding a slim advantage. But Songer picking up far side of the field, centering Terpstra. Songer directing traffic, marked by Cardoza. Terpstra tries to find the under. Vicky Chen with great pressure. Terpstra again. Wide this time. And sliding grab from Kircher. Terpstra. This is Cohen. And just down. Dropping in front of the fingers of Kircher.
Yeah, that was a strong bid for that, but it just dropped right in front of her fingers, like you said.
And Falcons are going to try and take advantage. I think this is the first possession we've had going upwind. That's past half field. Nikki Yang, and not sure if that got a touch.
Oh.
Han Chen, quick throw, goal! Cardoza, upwind break, Falcons. They lead 3-1.
That was a really fantastic catch by Chang. She just read it better than her opponent, who looked like she had the better position for it. However, she had a great read and just snagged it out of her hands. And made the quick score after. First, like I said, first upwind score of the game. That's a good break for the Falcons.
I mean, in a wind game, getting that first upwind score can be so crucial. And Chen just able to snag it out in front of the defenders and then zips the throw into Cardoza. In your experience, Liz, I mean, upwind, downwind games, right? If you can get that initial break, it can make a world of difference, especially if you can then pair it with that downwind opportunity that the Falcons are going to try and do on this ensuing point.
It can be really huge. I mean, you would think that the Falcons, this is their home field, they're pretty familiar with the wind. It's going to generally be the north-south wind that we're seeing here today. They would be a little more experienced with it, and be able to convert more often. One would hope.
And the pull just floating out of bounds, but Utah's still going to have to work most of the length of the field. And it looks like it's Carly Atwell who's set to put the disc into play. Songer in support. Falcons employing a bit of a handler junk look, trying to stymie the initial Utah throws. Songer, Terpstra, and high point grab. Corey Bigham getting big for the grab. Near sideline, Atwell, Terpstra. Y'all, if you tune into the college championships, those two are going to do work for Spiral Jetty, I promise. Center of the field, Songer. Wild settling into a rhythm.
Oh, there was a nice cut there from Terpstra, but the pass did not make it to her.
Atwell trying to thread it up the sideline, unable to do so, and somehow this ends up in the hands of Greenwood. Meaty Chang sneaking it past the head of the defending Hrstakova. Falcons working up the near sideline. Greenwood to Chen. Twayenberg to Greenwood, and Falcons convert the double break chance. Take a 4-1 lead.
That was a really masterful play by Falcons, just passing quickly to the first open player, bringing it up, just really fast movement, finding the spaces there on the field and converting quickly.
Yeah, it's interesting sometimes how with the short stall count, it almost feels like people are playing zone offense in a way, because you just want to like not hold on to the disc, just keep moving it around and through the defenders, and
it's definitely more of a hex-like situation. You know, we do a 7-count stall at the Alameda Beach Ultimate Pickup Game that many players in the crowd, I recognize a lot of people from the crowd who go to that game and find it really helpful to keep the game moving fast, and I think it's working well for this game as well.
yeah, I feel like with Beach though, you get a little bit of that short field thing, like short stalls in mini for practices and such. So Han Chen trying to lace a pull upwind, gets it about 7 yards past half field. And Wild get another chance to go to work, but trail 3 early. Away throw, Cherwick, and a drop at the last second. Morgan Williams.
She had such a nice read on that disc. Really unfortunate. Maybe she just psyched herself out there.
Really seemed to have position, was able to box out her defender, but unable to snag it. And Falcons with 80 to go. Belated throw. Cardoza trying to get a little creative, get the disc to Mankoff, unable to do so.
It was really impressive. Unfortunately, did not meet its target.
And Wild. This side of the field, Atwell. Cherwink. Multiple players to the cone. And really touchy in that corner, proving tough again. Disc back to the Falcons. And Mankoff to Lily Stepanidis. Saved by Nikki Yang. Low throw picked out by Carnahan. And off the tip from Salzman, Mankoff into the window, and catch block from Utah.
A little conservation of greatness there.
Big away throw. Cherwink able to read it. Has a player going deep, and Chen, big layout block. Wasn't sure if that was going to maybe be some contact, but got the block clean against Kenzie Finnegan. This point has been pretty frenetic, Liz.
Yeah, it's been exciting. That was a really exciting bid there. And on both ends, the players are playing really hard. And, I think they're...
Stepanidis away, trying to find Carnahan, unable to do so.
Yeah, that was a better throw than it looked, but she just couldn't quite grab it. Oh, just past her fingers.
Nikki Yang nearly able to come with the block instead. Atwell finding Finnegan. Finnegan, another away throw, and that one connects for the goal.
That's an important score for Utah. That was a long point, and they worked so hard to make sure that they got there. So that was exciting. That was a great point for Utah, keeping them in this game.
Definitely needed to convert that downwind opportunity for the Wild. And just threading the pass along the sideline for the score. But will give Falcons another chance. We'll get a chance to look at the replay. Beautiful outside in touch on the away throw. Sailor Ong there on the reception for Wild.
You know, we saw a lot of these high curved, almost bladey kinds of throws in that last point, trying to break through the wind perhaps.
Trying to break through the wind, trying to catch the wind, something. And the Falcons gain the chance to receive the disc going downwind. A note with the end of quarter rules, it is possession based. So the team that maintains possession at the end of the quarter will be able to hold until the goal, until the buzzer. And I think that just did it right there. We'd be jumping into the end zone for the score.
Falcons really made the most of that point. That was probably the longest upwind pull that we'd seen so far, but Falcons just brought it up really fast, used the full field, both directions to convert quickly and score exactly with the buzzer.
The funny thing is, they obviously don't need to, but hey, it works out, and that takes us to the end of the first quarter. Bay Area with a pair of breaks, up 5-2. Utah will get the chance to start on offense at the start of the second quarter. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, the start of the second quarter, Bay Area up on Utah, 5-2. Welcome back to beautiful Oakland, California, here at Fremont High School, where the hometown Bay Area Falcons have a 5-2 lead over the visiting Utah Wild in this final regular season action for both teams. Falcons We'll get another couple of games, though, in just a few weeks at Championship Weekend, hosted here in the East Bay area. Utah trying to notch one more win before their 2025 season comes to a close. I'm Jenna Wyan, joined in the booth again by Liz Garfinkel. Welcome in.
Thank you, Jenna. Happy to be here. That was a really exciting first quarter.
Energy was definitely up. Number of turnovers both ways as the team sort of settled into the wind. And Utah getting a chance to start on offense, but having to go upwind. Terpstra able to find Kircher. Kircher, big away throw, but not able to fight the wind quite enough to find Harushnikova. And the Falcons get a early break chance to start this second quarter.
That was a nice pass. It looked like it was catchable, but Harushnikova was a little bit ahead of it.
Falcons moving fairly quick. Using the width of the field. Vicky Chen trying to put in a way throw to Wayenberg. Wayenberg reading it, securing it. Goal, Falcons, 6-2.
That was a quick conversion with the downwind. Getting the downwind point, and now Falcons beginning to run away a bit with this game. 6-2 at the beginning of the second quarter.
3 breaks on the game for the Bay Area. That last throw from Chen. Looking for Wayenberg. We'll get another chance to look at it here. Terpstra in the vicinity, and almost looks like on the second effort, Wayenberg able to secure the catch, maintain the focus for the Falcons score.
Again, we're seeing these sort of high floaty throws, but they're making their mark. We also see Coach Dariani leaving the field right there. It is her birthday, as something a social media outlet informed me. So happy birthday there to Coach Dariani.
Happy birthday, Coach. Would be nice for the players to give their coach a win on her birthday. Currently holding a 4-point lead as the Wild offense get another chance to work downwind. Kircher throws, goes up line. Resets to Songer. Kircher. Wide throw to Norris. And stall call. Mankoff on Norris. Seemingly no contest. Observer ruling, though, is no stall. So observers doing their best to keep track of time, and makes sense because it can feel like 7 seconds passes really fast even when it's only been 5 seconds. So appreciate the observer stepping in, trying to make sure that time is properly kept. Kircher in big layout block.
Nice read there to see where it was going and just take it from you.
Mankoff denying Norris. Mankoff near sideline. Pinwen Wong trying to find Stepanitis. Able to do so. Falcons. Few yards out. Mankoff. Goal. Quick score for the Bay Area. They take a 7-2 lead.
That was just a really fantastic block by Han Chen and quick conversion down the line by Falcons. Falcons really running away with it now with another break there.
Yeah, great movement, great defensive pressure. I think that might have been Mankoff able to get the block. Kircher just trying to lay it out. Stepanitis getting the away throw from Wong. Mankoff block and the assist. Nikki Yang on the reception for the Falcons. And Bay Area cruising. I was talking to the aforementioned Coach Dariani a little bit before the game, and as you know, like with a game that doesn't have any like meaning for the standings for either team. Falcons locked into 4th place for championship weekend. Utah already eliminated from championship weekend potential. I asked Coach Dariani, like, what's the message to the team? And gave me a nice little quote of This is a preview for championship weekend, and the Falcons intend to put the rest of the league on notice. So really trying to make a statement that the Bay Area is going to be tough to beat at home here in a few weeks, regardless of who they play. And an early 5-point lead is going to continue to make that emphasis. Wainberg getting in the block action. Earn the disc back for the Bay Area. B.D. Chang, high stall. Macy Volbrecht resets to Chang. Vicky Chen scoops out, miscommunication, and easy enough for the Bay Area to convert the downwind score.
Yeah, Audrey Way was wide open there, just ready for the open pass. No defender on either player at that point.
Not sure what happened there for Utah, just getting mixed up on the assignments, but they're able to get it to work, even with the high stall count. Chen digging out the low throw and then floating it out to Audrey Way for the score. At least per my count, second assist of the game for Vicky Chen. Falcons getting contributions, though, up and down the roster. Again, by my count, at least no player with more than 2 combined goals and assists. And if you're the Falcons coaching staff, this is what you want to see. You want to put the league on notice, getting contributions for up and down your roster, opening up a commanding 6-point lead. This is what you want to see show off.
Absolutely. And since they haven't yet played the top 2 teams, this is a good message to show that they can, and they'll be ready when they do. Ooh,
and just
turn.
Off the hands of Rushnikova, nearly ended up in the hands of Han Chen right away. Instead, Chen finding Stepanidis, now to Carnahan. Stepanidis marked by Kircher. And big bid from Han Chen to save possession.
Falcons losing some ground, but playing hard in the meantime.
And we hear a buzzer from the sideline, and that's a timeout call from the Bay Area. A note for the timeouts for anyone who, for some reason, this last weekend of Western Ultimate League action is your first time. Teams can sub on timeouts. Coaches can call timeouts from the sideline. So wouldn't be surprised if with another chance to break up when if Coach Ariani just wants to settle the nerves, trying to convert this chance and potentially sub on some of those top offensive line players who may have been resting their heels a little bit, try and punch in this score and continue to extend the Falcons' lead.
Yeah, it's interesting. You don't usually see a timeout called right in the middle of the action there, where it seemed like the Falcons actually the Falcons had some momentum and were pushing the disc up pretty well there after being pushed back a bit. Perhaps there was a bit of a delay in the thought process, but they seemed to recover and were making progress. So we'll see. Did they substitute anyone? Yeah, looks like they are calling in.
It's like there may be a few subs for the Falcons, just trying to sort some things out. I can see at least Olivia Gus and Alexi Zalko. I don't think were on the field before, along with Amanda Maru.
I think Volbrecht wasn't on before, perhaps? Or was?
Great question, Liz. Great question. Lots of players, lots of swaps. Utah obviously able to make the same substitutions. A little play call. Underthrow to Maru. To Chen. To Zalk. Back to Zalk. Now Carnahan. Falcons really trying to not hold on to the discs. And inside throw from Goss, trying to find Chen. Unable to quite connect. Utah have most of the length of the field to go. They do have their timeouts to use as well, though. New sideline, Ludak. Able to find Atwell. Atwell thought about gearing up for it, and Carnahan steps in front.
Snatches that disc away.
Meant for walk to away throw. Carnahan, touchy, Goss, easy. Falcons score, break again, 9-2 Bay Area.
That was a confident D by Carnahan, just saying this is mine, just grabbing it off and then sending it upfield.
Touchy throw from the veteran after the exchange of blocks and turns. Almost thought for a sec there that the Falcons timeout might be wasted, but instead Goss in acres of space able to reel in the score. Now granted, this is a 7-point lead, and the Falcons are showing no signs of slowing down. That said, Liz, in previous games earlier this season, just a couple weeks ago, we've seen the Falcons take leads against teams and then give up big runs. I mean, the last time the Falcons were here at home, they were up, I think it was 6 with like half of the fourth quarter left and gave up 4 straight goals. Might have been the start of the fourth quarter, but they gave up a big run to Oregon to let soar back into that game. So they're really going to want to try and keep their foot on the gas pedal as we see a gigantic pull.
Nice pull there.
Helps going downwind and upwind. Wild able to make it work. Just in the hands of Songer now. Sliding grab. Rushnikova. Moulton.
Another turn by the Wild.
Moulton looking for Williams. Unable to get to it. Meaty Chang, Vicky Chen, another away throw. Weyenberg not quite able to get there. Kircher in hot pursuit, and the wind just carrying it too far.
Falcons was not quite able to convert there, but Utah has another chance to work it upwind. We'll see if they have they really have been struggling upwind, Utah, so we'll see if they can get the groove there.
Terpstra trying to go for it all right away.
And there they did find the win. What great use of it.
Rushnikova wide open, no defender. This now with Songer. Kircher picks out the air and quick grab for the score, and Utah get another one on the board. Now trail 9-3. Kircher with the assist.
That was great. It was wonderful to see Utah do exactly what I just said I wanted them to do, which is learn to use the wind. And they really did. They sailed that perfect upwind huck there that just used the wind enough to float it to the player to catch up to it. And then we had that fantastic break over there to that corner. And, I think they're getting used to the wind. And maybe this will be that different game that you mentioned just a minute ago.
We shall see. Ava Hayes with the grab. Songer able to just step around the defender on that. Not going to get credit for it, at least on the primary stats, but with the hockey assist, as it's known, secondary assist on the pass to Kircher. So this Wild team is interesting because they do have this mix of more veteran talent and some younger talent. I mentioned Terpstra and Atwell as 2 current college players. This Wild roster also dotted with other more recent graduates from the likes of the University of Utah and BYU. Benig.
Ooh, huge throw.
Looking for Pinwen Wong, but Cherwink able to cut off the angle. And Wild with a chance to try and get a quick break downwind. Atwell. Pick called. Atwell, Terpstra. Again, some of the younger players, Songer and Kircher among some of the more veteran players who've been around this Utah and in general Mountain West scene for a while. A number of players, including Songer and Kircher, at times played for Seattle teams when there wasn't quite the same scene, but they've been able to really foster a sense of community and success in the women's ultimate scene in Utah and the general Mountain West area. So exciting to see Utah continue to go, although not on that one. Pfennig with the assist to Ward for the Falcons' goal.
Yeah, that was just an unfortunate pass there, and Falcons were able to quickly convert. So Utah, after having worked the disc up so well upwind, just as soon as they got it for the downwind, they just threw it away.
Wind can be tricky either direction you go sometimes, and the disc just popping up. Pfennig able to get the quick block, as we see in the little toss ahead to Ward, and they're able to step in front of it for the score. Those two have been working in the backfield, but this time quick assist goal combo. Although got to credit Cherwink with the block there. Pfennig's pass out to Pinwin Wong seemed like wide open, but Cherwink able to step in front of it and get the block for Utah. Just not able to convert our Wild. It's a 10-3 Bay Area lead. Songer. Kircher. And big bid from McQuaid.
That was a really nice D there. Came from far behind.
McQuaid, former Stanford Superfly standout. Gain the block. Just now over to Mita Chang. Greenwood, angled pass, perfect, and McQuaid, the block and the goal. Falcons score 11-3.
There's our bookends that we got. Yeah, that was really another masterful conversion for the Falcons. And now it's an 8-point game, and with still quite some time left in the first half.
McQuaid fired up about the block and the goal. Falcons taking their time, going laterally, and Greenwood. Player out of Reno, Greenwood has that big step out, low released flick, and as somebody who used to play with and against Morgan in Reno, I could tell you that low release flick is hard to stop, and put it to very good use on that assist to McQuaid.
The Reno ultimate scene is picking up then. When I was there, there were some good players from of the former world champion mixed team Donner Party, but then not much happening at the college level. Sounds like, and most of the top players were actually in the Tahoe area. But then it seems like in their more recent times, they have a stronger college team happening and more players also in the city. Did you also play in Reno?
Yeah, I was there for grad school for a few years. Played a couple of years up there. So, and it's really great to see the Falcons able to pull from places as far-reaching as Reno, about a 3.5 hour drive from here in the East Bay area. And I know that Morgan and a number of the other Reno cohort used to play with teams out of Sacramento, or players playing with Polar Bears in the mixed division in the Bay Area. So really glad to see Greenwood on this roster and finding success with the Falcons this season. Utah desperately trying to get something going. And just throw gets away from Terpstra. Inside liner from Chen, just trying to sneak it in too small of a space. Amy Norris there to deny Pfennig.
Utah got it right back.
Norris, far sideline. Kircher Still up the line, and between two defenders, Rushnikova for the Utah score.
A little bit of a fumble there, but she kept maintained possession, and Utah got to get the score on the downwind. So they're not out, but they're still down.
While doing a really good job of using that high side of the field, trying to stay away from this near sideline, the stand sideline that the wind is pushing all of these discs to. And Kircher, perfect throw between two defenders for Rushnikova. Second assist for Kircher. Said at the beginning of the broadcast we had mentioned her name once or twice, and sure enough, a couple of times for Paige Kircher.
She is definitely keeping the Utah team in the action.
Points coming pretty thick and fast as we get a high hanging pull that's just going to curve out of bounds. About 15 yards past half field. Fenig walking over to put the disc into play. Ward in deep support in the backfield. Quick throw to Goss near sideline. Fenig. Throw behind Ward. Goss. Now with Felice Cardenas. Finds Wiebe in traffic. Ward, touchy, Wiebe, goal. Easy enough for the Falcons for the score. They lead 12-4.
Just a really quick downwind point by the Falcons. Very efficient. Utah couldn't stop them.
Wiebe picking up another goal. Per my count, that's 3 so far this game. Wiebe last active for the Falcons ahead of the season as we see the replay of this possession. Inside throw, Ward, and a little quick give go for Wiebe. Wiebe, one of the Falcons' top goal scorers a couple years ago, took last season off to have a kid. Very exciting. And now is back and back in the end zone. 3 goals so far for Wiebe in this first half.
She's in great shape, bringing it on up, and just happy to be back on the field, it appears.
Points coming pretty thick and fast. Teams able to score fairly fluidly, although we've seen our fair share of turnovers, but 16 points combined through the majority of this first half. Songer getting jammed, finds Kircher on the reset. Terpstra, marked by Chang.
Some tight D by the Falcons, except for there.
Kircher trying to get something over the top, but Chen able to pick it out. Carnahan, Chang, it rips it deep. McQuaid in space, tries to jump it in, is still several yards out. Mankoff. Falcons have had troubles in the past working in the red zone. Can they convert this opportunity? Stepanitis directing traffic. Opts for the reset to Chen. And potentially a block, but seemingly potentially still in the contested foul call from what I can tell from the signaling. Hayes on the mark against Chen. And observers giving a 4 count. Priestall and Chen just immediately trying to fires the upline space for the score.
Saw a beautiful upwind hook to get the yardage there. And the jump, she might have thought that that line was the line for the end zone, the way she jumped so confidently around it. However, the different line is where the end zone is. It's the white line with the cones. And did look like potentially a strip there, and that was what the call was made at the foul, and Falcons converted for the up 1 point.
Yeah, maybe some players, obviously in the semi-pro season, trying to focus on getting this success this season. But for anyone at home who's in the process of starting Club Ultimate, the Club Ultimate season is starting. Western Ultimate League field 80 yards, Club field 70 yards. So maybe McQuaid feeling a little bit of that pre-programmed. It's 70 yards. I've gone that far, but just a little short. But Falcons still able to convert even after that contested foul call. And Fenig, another giant downwind pull. Songer, Kircher. And Terpstra, who else? Those three driving the bus for Utah. Fast break, opportunity, away throw, and goal for Utah. Cass Williams with the reception.
That was a nice, quick score by Utah. They just moved the disc really fluidly. Falcons struggled to keep up.
And impressive work from the Wild. Angled throw, just able to be dug out. And Volbrecht trying to be in pressure, but unable to get there. And Utah doing their best to stay within touching distance. Trail by 8. Bay Area up 13-5, under 30 seconds left to halftime.
That point did not look like they were down by 8. That point looked like it was the work of a much closer team.
I mean, we've seen Utah play well this season. They've had plenty of close games, and as mentioned, they notched their first win of the season a couple weeks ago against Arizona. They played close on the road against Colorado in Week 6, falling just short 18-15. This Wild team is certainly strong, and we saw them make last year's final at championship weekend. So just not quite at the same level of conversion for the wins this season. Falcons taking their time, maintaining possession, and the buzzer sounds. So Falcons will either score or turned over to end this possession. Ward, away throw. Carnahan chases it down.
Carney.
Big bid, but the goal. Carnahan, Bene, that's halftime, y'all. 14-15 kick spike. Bay Area.
What a nice pull down. You could see the Carnahan just looking at that like, oh, do I really have to run for this? But she did. She turned it on. She brought it down. And they got the quick score. So two quick scores there, both upwinders.
Teams finding ways to make it work, just missing the huge bid was Bunderson, and quick to Fenig. Couple of vets in Carnahan and Fenig connecting for the Falcons. Final score of this first half, they have a commanding 14-5 lead at home at halftime against the visiting Utah Wild. We'll step away for a bit. We should have a halftime interview coming for you all here shortly, and then we'll be back for the start of the second half. Don't go away. We will be back shortly.
California dreaming on such a winner's day.
Creatine is only for extreme athletes who eat dominance
Actually,
for
let's skip that part. Combat Candy is for everyone who trains hard and deserves better than choking down powder. 5 grams of science-backed creatine and a gummy that turns supplement routine into something to look forward to. Just because your workout is serious business doesn't mean your creatine supplement is to be. Combat Candy. Making strength frickin' delicious. Try it at combatcandies.com.
So fired up, I just jumped out of my seat.
Wow, what a beautiful grab.
I'm here for our halftime interview with Melina Weeby. Melina, you want to introduce us to our third member of this interview?
Yeah, this is my daughter, Delphine. Can you say hi?
Little shy. Big crowd here. Melina, big lead for the Falcons at halftime, 14-5. You yourself have contributed 3 goals so far. What's been the recipe for success so far for the Bay Area?
Yeah, we really wanted to focus on small ball and just like playing quick throws, play your first look, and not being afraid to play laterally. And I think that's where we found some success, especially downwind. So yeah, it's been working for us so far.
And you're back after missing last year. Super successful in finding the end zone a couple years ago. Off to have this cute little one. What's it been like to be back with the team this year?
It's so nice. It's nice to, just kind of take a break from being a mom and being able to be the athlete and compete. There's some other moms on the team, so having that community is really special. And I just want to make her proud too.
Wants the mic, but doesn't want to say anything. Looking ahead to the second half, the Falcons have given up some second half runs in past games when y'all have been ahead. What's going to be the key thing that's going to help y'all maintain this focus and be able to continue to carry and expand this lead in the second half?
Yeah, just come out 0-0, play our game, play with confidence, and just like dominate, like just keep crushing.
Sounds good. Good luck out there. Good to see you, Delphine. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back to start the second half.
Creatine is only for extreme athletes who eat dominance
Actually,
for
let's skip that part. Combat Candy is for everyone who trains hard and deserves better than choking down powder. 5 grams of science-backed creatine and a gummy that turns supplement routine into something to look forward to. Just because your workout is serious business doesn't mean your creatine supplement is to be. Combat Candy. Making strength frickin' delicious. Try it at combatcandies.com.
Can I? Yes, I can hear.
And welcome back to Fremont High School here in Oakland, California. Beautiful setting sun just after 7 o'clock p.m. local time. Bay Area Falcons holding a 14-5 halftime lead. I'm Jenna Warner, joined in the booth by Liz Finkel.
Liz Garfinkel.
Garfinkel. Hello. So good to have you in the booth. You want to tell the folks at home a little bit about who you are, what you've been up to before coming into this booth? You mentioned the Donner Party earlier. That is a bit of a throwback. I don't know if our younger viewers.
I was not on the Donner Party. I think they won Worlds in 2002 or 1 or something like that. But no, started playing Ultimate in the Bay Area around 2003. Then I captained a club team called Butter in like the later 2000s. And Matt Crawford was an early pickup on that team. His very first club team was with a lovely mixed team called Butter. Is now gone on to bigger and better things, including being one of the coaches of the Bay Area Falcons. And I've done some commentary on mostly at Beach Worlds events. 2011, 2017, and I'm predominantly a beach player. I run the Alameda Beach Ultimate Pickup game, which is a fantastic game that some Spiders players and some previous Falcon players come to. But right now, we have a game here.
And a dropped pull will give Utah an immediate chance. And one throw, quick score. Just a mistake from the Falcons, and Utah gets an immediate score. Now trail 14-6.
Dropped pull. You never want to drop a pull, you know. That's a tough feeling.
Always a tough feeling, and can happen to the best, as we just saw. I mean, maybe give a little bit of grace. The sun is setting pretty severely. You could see long shadows on the players, so maybe a little tough to see the pull coming in when you're receiving on the right-hand side of the field. And Utah, more than happy to take that opportunity, down 9. Well, now suddenly you're down 8, and just like that, maybe you can start clawing it back bit by bit. So,
yeah, that definitely a quick conversion there that they needed to make. So, a little bit of recovery here. We'll see how Falcons do on this pull. They decide to not try to catch it.
A little bit easier when it's a little bit of a shorter pull. Fennig right back out. And Utah with a bit of a zone look. Trying to slow the Falcons' offense. Hammer from Zog. 2 receivers in the vicinity. Maru, Volbrecht, back to Maru. Now Ward, Fennig, able to hold on to it. Falcons past half field. Trying to just work it against the Utah zone. Floated throw. Maru able to read it despite the swirly wind. Fennig wide to Ward. Thought about the pass to Maru. Instead, finds Zalk on the inside throw. And Falcons settle in and recover. Take a 15-16 lead.
Falcons really used their opportunities there. The nice little launch over the Utah players to get to the middle there, and then just finding the gaps and getting it to the middle the traditional way.
Falcons really working it side to side, and I can understand the intention from Utah in trying to throw a zone, try and just give the Bay Area a different look, but part of me wonders if they intended to bring that on the very first point of this second half, and the drop pull means that you don't really need to run zone after that. So they tried to run it when the Falcons were going downwind, but zones are typically significantly less effective when teams are going downwind, when you say.
They are, and it was very much not effective in this situation. The Falcons had no trouble finding the gaps and exploiting them.
So now Utah with another chance to work downwind. Terpstra picking up the disc unguarded and throws it right to Audrey Way, who is maybe running over to put the mark on Terpstra. Terpstra not quite connecting, And now Falcons, quick, meaty Chang. Mankoff. 2 players to the cone. Instead resets to Chang. Wide and block.
Utah with the quick D there to get it back. Let's see how they do. The downwind.
Norris earning that run through block, and Terpstra saving possession and putting it deep. Trying to find Norris. And McQuaid in the vicinity, able to get the block back against Norris.
The ambitious Huck there that just was able to be D'd by the Falcons.
Mankoff, couple players in the vicinity. It's Stepanitis. Now to a bidding on Chen. Chen's always good for a few of those. Mankoff following suit. Chen, Stepanitis. Floated throw to Cardoza. Cardoza inside throw, but right to the defender. And as we saw a bit in the first half, a little bit frenetic action.
Yeah, the Falcons being a little bit sloppy at the end zone there twice now.
Kircher able to find Songer. Reset to Kocher. Wide. Terpstra saves possession. Players maybe just starting to try and get warm. In this third point of the second half. Utah past midfield. This back with Kircher. Both teams using those high release throws, going downwind, and Songer with the assist to Norris for the Utah score.
Utah really using some lofty throws there and finding each other on far ends of the field. Worked really well. Falcons D did not quite hold together.
The wind has definitely settled a bit post halftime. And so nice high release by Kircher and wide from Songer out to Norris for the score. Utah still with ground to make up, but with that drop pull opportunity, they have a break back and have played even with the Bay. But as long as the Falcons can maintain and their offense can continue to convert downwind, the Bay Area will continue to be in a strong position. So we'll see what kind of push the Wild can make. They're off to a solid start on this point with a towering pull. Although quickly fending to Saltzman gets the Falcons just to about half field. And somehow Goss with the catch in front of Morgan Williams. And over the top. And it's Melina Wiebe for the score. 4th score of the game on the pass from Fennig.
Falcons running away within that point, really just moving it up quickly. We got to see some good stuff from Saltzman there with her using her sharp understanding of the spacing and really looking at, really seeing the field well.
And great work by Goss on the reception on the far sideline just before this clip, and nearly too far for Wiebe on the throw from Fennig. But our halftime interview, new mom able to get the goal. 4 goals for Wiebe in the game so far.
That was a really nice read by her there for sure.
Sometimes can be tough with the sun and the swirly wind, but Wiebe able to get there. And Greenwood with the upwind pull. Kircher, Terpstra. Same story for Utah, and wide to Songer. Terpstra cruises up the line. And Kircher, those three, every pass so far. Corey Bigham now getting into the action. Rushnikova, Kircher, and Bigham nearly in.
But not quite.
Need one more pass. And a falling catch is going to be good for Utah for the score. And they're maintaining, but still trail by 8, 16-8.
Yeah, Falcons with double the score there. But you can really see the effort is still in there by Utah. We had a really heads-up catch there. Utah's definitely they're still in this game, despite the fact that it might not be quite winnable, one might think, but you never know. Crazy things can happen.
Incredible things can definitely happen, and Falcons have on multiple occasions given up 3-4 goal runs at points, even as late as the start of the fourth quarter. So if Utah could hang tight through there, they can definitely give themselves a chance to work it back in with another key break or two.
They certainly don't seem to be the kind of team that does that during this game. This game, they seem pretty consistent, only letting Utah score once in a while.
So Falcons offense getting another chance to work downwind. Some contact between Fenig and a mark. Being Carey Shelkey. No contest. Reset to Maru. Zalk. Bump to Fenig. Fenig thought about the away throw. Big bid. Comes up empty. From Sadie Cutler. Volbrecht near sideline. Weeby. Wide reset. Volbrecht continues to Fenig. Fenig multiple options. Instead, opts for reset. Floaty throw. And knocked down by Utah. Eleanor Wachtel with the block. And going to pick up the disc.
Utah taking advantage of the errant throw. Oh. And the score and the grab. That was a fantastic grab.
And big bid, but
conservation of greatness.
Big bid, big hug. Ward near sideline, just able to stay in bounds. Touchy throw, not in. Zalk and Weeby, fifth of the game for Molina. Weeby on the assist from Zalk. And the Falcons do indeed hold and score downwind, up 17-8.
Fantastic grab there by Atwell for Utah, but she just threw it away afterward. So Falcons did make the quick conversion there. Utah not looking like their moments of greatness need to be strung together more in order to be scores of greatness.
Instead, after the diving bid to save possession, it was throwaway to Fenig, and Falcons, quick as you like, 5 goals for Weeby with about a quarter and a half to play here in the East Bay area. Again, a reminder that championship weekend will be here in the East Bay area. In a few weeks, the Falcons going to host San Diego, Colorado, and Seattle as they vie for the 2025 Western Ultimate League title. First time that championship weekend has been hosted in the Bay Area for the Western Ultimate League, so should be a fun one if you're in the area. Come check it out, come hang out, and if you can't, we hope you will join us on the Western Ultimate League YouTube page for those games. Songer, away throw, multiple receivers, and it's Rushnikova just getting it over the defense of Han Chen.
That was an exciting point by Utah. That was a fantastic catch by Songer, who then just sailed it Up into the end zone. Varishnikova.
Just angled. Chen coming out of nowhere to try and get the block, but the disc just a bit too high to earn the block. And Harushnikova, or better known as Kayak in the Ultimate community, gets the score. At least a second goal for Harushnikova. A couple assists for Songer as well. 3 assists for Paige Kircher. By my count, I might have missed one here or there, folks. So my apologies if I am undercounting. Western ultimately doing a great job of keeping stats, though. Their website, very, very helpful for prepping and recapping these exciting games that we have on display.
That was a really nice upwind pull by Utah. Wind is dying down somewhat, though, so that might have helped.
Starting to set, wind, as you mentioned, dropping a bit. Current conditions showing about 11-mile-an-hour wind. About 61 degrees. Perfectly pleasant out in the sunshine, though. Falcons staying patient, making it work. Fenig and Ward working the backfield, though now it's Please Cardenas finding the crossfield. Another goal for Melina Wiebe. That's 6 this game for Wiebe and an 18-9 Bay Area lead.
Was that Cardenas with the crossfield throw? That was a lovely find.
Wiebe, just the constant target for the Falcons in the end zone, notching a 6th goal. And folks, we got over a quarter and a bit to play, so keep an eye out on Wiebe in terms of the total goals this game. 6 so far. The most goals in a single game in WUL history is 7. 3 players tied at that number: Kristen Reed, Alex Diaz, and Abby Thorpe. Wiebe currently sitting tied for second with 6 goals, matching that tally tonight. And we have more time to spare, Liz, so who knows? Maybe we'll see a record-setting goal-scoring performance by Melina Wiebe by the end of the night.
We might, and that would be an exciting thing to see for sure.
Utah going to do their best to spoil that potentially record-making party with their record maker, Kircher, working with the likes of Terpstra and Songer. Kircher and call. Not recognized quite yet. But now recognized, and play will stop. Observer ruling, no stall call. Observer ruling that the disc will stay with Kircher. Stall count will come in at 1. And there is a pre-stall to allow players to be able to move.
We're seeing Nikki Yang in the game right now, number 31. This is her first home game, I believe, and her entire office came out to see her play.
Good game to come out to, as we see a drop from McQuaid. Angled throw, just out of reach. Cass Williams trying to find Norris and unable to do so.
Ball again.
And Bay Area with a chance to go 80 for another score on Chen. Picking up the disc marked by Williams. Centering to Chang. And wide, not quite there for Yang.
Utah have it again.
And Kircher walking over to put the Utah offense into motion just 5 yards out of the end zone. Songer resetting to Kircher. And a goal for Utah. A little bit of contact in the backfield, but not affecting it. And that's a score for Utah.
Utah not going away. They're still maintaining the 8-point gap. They have not let the gap grow. However, they still have a ways to go if they want to shrink it.
Yeah, after that opening break off of the dropped pull, it's been all downwind scores for both teams. And if you're the Falcons, you're perfectly content to keep that up, maintain that differential, and just sort of ride it from there. And I mean, just let Melina Wiebe go to work, and like seemingly will just be open, and then you throw it to Melina Wiebe, and then it's a score. Like easy as it comes for the Falcons, really.
But they're also using other players as well.
That's true. That's true. Although Wiebe is back out on the field, so we'll see if she's target again. Cardenas. Center field to Saltzman.
She was wide open there wanting to get
and
it. Oh,
Fennig.
here we go.
Oh, and concentration, not quite in. Pinwin Wong able to just maintain focus. Dishes it back to Saltzman, and it's a goal for the Falcons. That one was a little chaotic, but it worked out in the end.
A little chaotic. The Utah defender had a play on that she did not quite get, but that was just enough presence to maybe distract. Was it Wong with the
Pinwin Wong giving the thumbs up to the camera, like I did just enough to make that work. And I mean, yeah, when you have a defender flying past your face, it can be easy to lose focus for that 1 second that you need to maintain control of the disc, but able to do so, called out by the observers, not in the end zone at least, by the observers, and called passes in.
Also with the sun in her eyes. There are a lot of factors there, I'm sure.
Definitely. But again, making do are the Falcons, and they are going to be continue to be happy to trade, maintaining a 9-goal lead, up 19-10 with just under 2 minutes remaining in this third quarter. And Songer near sideline. Bigham. Recess to Terpstra. Terpstra's throw low.
Not quite there. Nice bid by Terpstra, but
yeah, Norris on the throw from Terpstra, not quite able to dig it out. Vicky Chen going up line on the throw from Cardoza. Katie Chang. Han Chen to Vicky Chen. Goal! Falcons! That's an upwind break. It's a 20-10 Falcons lead.
Chen for the assist, Chen for the score.
Funny how that works sometimes.
When you have two Chens, it can happen.
It definitely can. And did in this case. Han Chen. Zippy inside throw. Harushnikova was in the vicinity, but Vicky Chen able to rise to meet the disc. And we get our first upwind score of the third quarter. And unfortunately for Utah, it does not go in their favor. So instead of the deficit shrinking to 7, is now up to double digits. Falcons doubling up. Utah here 20-10.
Utah still having their moments of glory within each point, but just not having enough of them to string together to close the gap.
And if you're the Falcons, this is what you want to see, right? After giving that up that initial break, able to get the holds and then earn the break back and not give Utah a chance to really establish any momentum, and doing a good job to start this possession to stymie the Wild offense. Utah forced to go mostly side to side. Terpstra going nearly every other and just disc off the hands of Harushnikova.
Strong pressure there by Volbrecht. created that turnover.
Volbrecht near side. Han Chen centers to Volbrecht. To Yang. Guard by Williams. Buzzer goes. Disc in the hands of Carnahan. Therefore, Falcons will get a chance to either score to finish the quarter, or if they turn it over, they will maintain their 10-goal lead heading into the fourth. Yang. Chen. Near sideline. Hammer!
Ooh, visionary.
Floaty. And it's a goal!
What an exciting way to end that quarter. Beautiful hammer. All the way across the field to the back corner.
Han Chen with an outstanding hammer to finish things off, finding Keelan McQuaid over the top.
So casual.
Songer attempting to kind of find it, but not trying to put too much pressure on. And it's a back-to-back breaks for the Falcons. At the end of the third quarter, they have a 21-10 lead over Utah Wild. We're going to step away. When we come back, Falcons going to look to finish off this win in dominant fashion in the upcoming fourth quarter. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back for this final quarter of action here in week 9 of the Western Ultimate League regular season 2025. Bay Area Falcons leading 21-10 at home against the visiting Utah Wild. Jen Weiner joined in the booth by Liz Garfinkel. Liz, it's been a fun game. Falcons showing off why they are going to be at championship weekend at home. As Coach Sariani noted before the game, trying to put the league on notice, and an 11-point margin at the start of the fourth quarter will certainly do that for the Falcons.
And a quick turn there by Utah.
And
and an injury as well.
Fortunate injury, hopefully not too serious. That's Cass Williams going off for Utah. This just sailed over her head, perhaps losing footing while she was trying to track it. And turnover will stand Fenig to pick up for the Bay Area. Resetting, Meaty Chang, and a couple touches from Greenwood, not able to reel it in. Now Kircher standing over the disc marked by Vicky Chen. Kircher, Songer. Bigham, far sideline. Utah just trying to stabilize. Try and trim the deficit bit by bit. Kircher and Songer. Falcons pressure, pushing the Wild handlers back. But Terpstra is free, far side of the field, marked by Cardoza. Kircher, Songer. Back to Kircher. And Norris just able to hold off the charging Stepanitis. Kircher, Terpstra. And layout block, Robin Fennig.
Fantastic block there.
Fennig getting big for the block. Just denying it. Utah was in a rhythm, and Fennig disrupting it. Inside throw to Cardoza. Fennig, Cardoza. Falcons trying to work upwind, although, as noted earlier, it has died down. Meaty Chang. And timeout called from the sideline. Players all go to their knees, so probably a good call from the sideline. Give the players a break. Teams get 2 timeouts per halftime, so might as well use them. Only, I think, first one for either team used in this second half of play. And Falcons probably going to sub pretty readily, if I had to guess, Liz, at least to get some fresh legs out there for the remainder of this point.
It's a good time to do that. They've been working hard out there, and there are a number of players on this roster who haven't necessarily seen as much time. Perhaps they're going to come in, or maybe they have something else in mind.
We shall see. The Falcons have been getting contributions from up and down the roster. I think by my count, basically every player has contributed some goal or assist, and odds are good I've missed one or two along the way for those other players who I don't have marked down. So I think really whoever you put out there, if you're Coach Thariani and the rest of the Falcons coaching staff, you're going to be pretty happy about it because everyone's been stepping up in a big way today, and the margin speaks to it, 21-10. The Falcons haven't really had this kind of dominating margin most of the season. Most of the games have been pretty close. They've built up some leads, but then given up runs, but no sign of that so far in this one.
Well, that's a really great sign of what sharing the roster can do, especially having so many contributions from everyone.
Absolutely. Falcons' biggest win of the season came in their opener on the road against Arizona, 23-17.
Wow.
Every other game has been tight, so
this is definitely a different game then.
And a very encouraging sign for the home team ahead of championship weekend in a few weeks.
Maybe they were inspired by the play in the Rising Stars game beforehand, seeing who their up-and-coming competition were. They decided to step it up. But there, that wasn't inspired. That was just a turn.
Not so stellar on that one, but the Rising Stars certainly put on a show earlier today. So I'd love to see the upcoming talent in all areas of the country, including in Utah, as they get in for another score.
In fact, one of the local Oakland Tech girls just secured a bid to nationals, so they'll be representing the home field over in Pennsylvania this summer.
Very exciting. Should be a good one.
A number of them were on the Rising Stars teams beforehand.
Morgan Williams on the assist to Ashley Ludak. And, I mean, part of the success of the Bay Area scene, the Bay Area scene has been active for a while and has had success in part fueled by just a constant upwelling of talent. But in places like Utah and the broader Mountain West, we've seen very successful youth programs on both the boys and the girls side in places like Utah that have helped fuel and allow for the success of teams like the Utah Wild. So it's really great to see Youth Ultimate around the country continue to find success. And as you mentioned, getting players connected to the broader community, like in the Rising Stars game, is so helpful. And yeah, who knows who's maybe going to be on the Falcons roster from that Rising Stars roster in maybe just a few years time. And throw behind from Volbrecht. Utah going deep right away. Wide open player. McCready over the top. Floating, grab, score.
Utah making up for their not so stellar pull with the quick turn by Falcons, and then just two beautiful hucks to create the quick score.
And that's a wild break. They score up win. McCready getting a free and then getting the assist to Sadie Cutler. Falcons just a little bit on the back foot and then over the top into space. Maru trying to challenge but not quite able to put the full pressure on. And Utah saying we're not quite done yet. Margins still may be significant, but I want to end the season on a high note, even if it's in an uphill battle in this attempted comeback in the fourth quarter. And a big hanging pull from Bunderson.
And a 9-point game is closer than an 11-point game.
It is indeed. And another zone from Utah. Maybe this is what they wanted to do at the start of the third quarter before that drop pull. Chen sort of makes a motion of a hammer instead. Resets to Fenig. Now it's Carnahan far side. In between two players, Fenig. Maru digging it out. Chen. And Utah defense in disarray. Maru. Fenig. Wide to Chen. Has options. Utah staying in their zone look. Goss. Fenig. Goss. And Fenig just plucks it off the turf. And a bit of a hammer across field to Carnahan. Falcons just trying to dance until they find an opening. That opening comes on the pass to Maru for the score.
Just barely open thanks to the heads-up D attempt there. The defensive bid that did not go through, and Falcons are able to pull away, and it's back to a double-digit lead.
A little dicey at times against that zone, but Falcons able to make it work. And the classic fake one way as the defense all slides, and then the pass across the defense going the other way. One of my favorite things to do in a zone offense, just wait, find the gap, the entire defense shifts, and Maru in that opening on the pass from Fenig. And Falcons restore, at least for the moment, their double-digit advantage.
Utah's zone worked a little better for them this point, but still not quite as effective as they may want. And they might want to go back to the man defense. The person defense seems to be a little bit more effective for them.
Yeah, that matchup defense may be better now that the wind has died down. You can see the flags on the far sideline just still And pretty much straight down. There's definitely a call.
A travel call by Rishnikov. On her by Volbrick.
Unclear what the call is. Looks like the disc, though, will be going to Terpstra on continuation rule or just a reset back. Meaty Chang on the mark. Wild trying to play some small ball in the backfield. Terpstra finding Songer. Now Kircher. Terpstra does a nice job of readjusting, but just can't maintain possession. Oh, and
Injury.
Terpstra walking off. You hope she's okay. Certainly her college teammates will hope that, especially so. Disc will stay with the Falcons. Meaty Chang, Nikki Yang, Han Chen. Few quick throws. And inside throw. Meaty Chang. Nikki Yang and score for the Falcons.
Again,
Julie Mankoff.
nice quick movement by the Falcons. Utah was not quite putting on the defense there enough at the end. Maybe thinking about what had just come before them, their teammate with the injury on the sidelines. Who knows? But they just were not playing tight D there, and the Falcons worked it up.
Falcons able to make it work pretty quick after the injury call. And you do just have to hope for Terpstra that she'll be all right, be able to recover ahead of College Nationals next week up in Burlington, Washington.
She might be having some trouble with her knee. She's got a pretty bandaged up knee there. Maybe that was giving her some trouble.
Perhaps. And her team would love to see her back out on the field, but wouldn't be surprised if Terpstra's night is done as Utah trails by 11. Hometown Falcons holding a 23-12 lead as Atwell finds Kircher. Marked by Wiebe. Up the line, Songer. Reset to Kircher. And wide. And quick snap throw from Kate Moulton, but not able to find Norris.
Norris was cutting in. The disc was wanting her to be cutting out. Just did not quite go.
Bit of a miscommunication, but it does mean that the Falcons are going to have to work the full 80 and then some. Carnahan able to get the squad at least a few yards forward. And just off the hands of Stepanidis.
An opportunity for Utah.
Plenty of pressure applied by Wiebe. Instead, Atwell, one more throw.
Oh.
Just too far. Big bid by Lizzie Cowan.
Heartbreaking for Utah there. They had a chance and just pushed it a little too hard.
Fenig taking the time to walk the disc up. Falcons in absolutely no rush. Under 4 minutes to play. Up by 11. Stepanidis, far sideline. Sanders to Carnahan. Greenwood. Wiebe under pressure. Greenwood away for Stepanitis in
Beautiful
stride.
Beautiful pass by Greenwood.
Weeby. Vicky Chen. Side throw. Wayenberg. Reset to Carnahan. Greenwood. Thought about it to Weeby. Low inside throw. Fenig. Club teammates connecting for the goal.
Nice work there by Falcons, quickly bringing it up the field through some nice long passes and then just staying composed. Didn't have an immediate score, but were able to work it back and forth and find their opening. With the sun down, the wind is much less. One flag still moving, another one totally still, making the upwind point much easier to achieve.
And that low snap flick from Greenwood, as mentioned earlier, so hard to stop. Her and Fenig playing on mixed team Sacramento Tower this past season. Tower making nationals. So Fenig and Greenwood making bits of commutes to play with the Falcons here in the East Bay area. And I think they'll be happy to have to make the commute again in a few weeks' time for Champ Weekend. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and Sacramento, another area that did not have strong ultimate in the past, who has really picked up with some strong players, and two of which are here tonight.
And Utah, another scene that's picked up over the years. And the Wild offense, not quite to half field, but just about. Able to get the over-the-top around throw. Big away throw. Bunderson. Traffic. Doesn't matter. Morgan Williams. To McClurkin. So it was Kelly to McClurkin. Now disc back with Morgan Williams. Bunderson.
Falcons holding them back, but
wide throw!
Ooh, incredible grab there.
Sherwing trying to jump it in. Not able to do so, but an astounding expression of athleticism, and does eventually get the score on the assist from Bunderson.
That was an exciting point for Utah. They had some beautiful, beautiful upfield huck, and then just really tight action, carefully waiting for their moment, and then just a hell of a grab there by Cherwing.
Cherwing has been outstanding for Utah this season, past couple seasons, I think, and with athleticism in abundance, showing that off as Utah notches another score. Deficit 24-13, under 2 minutes remaining. The Falcons, at this point, it's about making sure that you get out of the game clean, that you continue to just play your game through the finish. And this is quite the statement to send to the rest of the league that the Falcons will not be an easy 4 seed at championship weekend. For Utah, not a bad performance all around. It's been a solid season. They're going to get another chance on offense to notch another break here. But disappointing to only finish with a single win on the season after making it to the finals of championship weekend last year.
What do you think the difference is, Jenna?
I think potentially some of the aspects of just a couple of goals here and there as Utah scores.
10 points again.
Trimming the deficit just a bit.
It had gotten as much as 12 points, but now that was 2 quick scores by Utah. So maybe this is that last quarter run that you were talking about that the Falcons might let happen again.
Or at least a last push from the Wild before their 2025 season ends. I think for Utah, there were a number of significant losses for this Wild roster. Number of players who were part of that 2024 squad not making a return this time around. So roster turnover, I would say, definitely part of it. And I think also just a matter of some scheduling aspects. Utah's schedule was certainly not an easy one, having to play against Colorado, the defending champs, a couple of times, having to play San Diego Super Bloom, the other undefeated team in the league, having to come on the road here against the Falcons. So, and they've had some close games. It's not been like it's all been blowouts by any means for Utah. They've had some close matchups, but just not been able to notch those wins that sent them in the championship weekend last year. But wouldn't be surprised if we see a bounce back from this Utah Wild team in 2026. Again, that Utah youth scene is one to be reckoned with. So wouldn't be surprised if they get some new young recruits that help bolster this Wild roster next season.
Well, that would be exciting to see. Right now, though, they're still in this game. Even if it's not quite winnable, they're still playing hard and they're making a stab at that deficit.
Under a minute to play. Fennig, Fulbrecht, wide to Ward. They find Zalk. Now Carnahan. Wong, far sideline. Loop throw to Fennig. Inside throw to Ward. Ward blocked. Cherwink.
Cherwink does it again. Great read there by Cherwink, just taking it away from the Falcons.
As you said, playing hard at the end, which everyone we can all appreciate.
Oh, but the immediate turnover.
And moments remaining. Ward picks up the disc to Fennig. And that's the buzzer. And that's the game. Falcons with a 10-point win. 24-14.
Falcons, with their last regular season home game, was that doubling their biggest deficit, biggest point win from before in terms of the difference between?
Just about, yeah. 10-point margin, pretty solid.
What is
for
the opposite of a deficit? Abundance? Yes, and happy birthday to Manisha Dariani, coach to you.
Players doing the high five line. Falcons winning in dominant fashion, never really letting Utah back into the game after bursting out to a first half margin and cruising from there. Falcons coming into the game saying that they wanted to put the league on notice. 10-point win at home, where championship weekend will be in 3 weeks. We'll definitely do that. Liz, any last thoughts before we say goodnight to all the good folks at home?
I think notice is given. It's going to make for an exciting championship weekend. It's been a pleasure being here.
It's been a pleasure having you. For folks at home, check out the final game of the 2025 Western Ultimate League regular season happening tomorrow. Top 2 teams in the league undefeated. Colorado Alpenglow taking on San Diego Super Bloom, also undefeated. Winner, top seed, will play the Falcons at championship weekend. We're going to step away for just a bit as the players come over to meet the crowd. When we come back, post-game interview and highlights.
Are you dreaming on such a winner's day?
Creatine is only for extreme athletes who eat dominance
Actually,
for
let's skip that part. Combat Candy is for everyone who trains hard and deserves better than choking down powder. 5 grams of science-backed creatine and a gummy that turns supplement routine into something to look forward to. Just because your workout is serious business doesn't mean your creatine supplement is unique. Combat Candy, making strength frickin' delicious. Try it at combatcandies.com.
They had 2 seconds and they made it count. Do you believe?
I'm so fired up, I just jumped out of my seat.
Wow. What a beautiful grab.
And I'm here post-game with the Falcons. Robin Fenech. Robin, congratulations on the win. Big, decisive win. As you were saying right before we went there, y'all finally played a complete game. And right before championship weekend, good timing, isn't it, to get ready for champ weekend at home in a few weeks?
Yeah, we've been really focusing on playing a fast tempo offense. And so I feel like there are a lot of those kind of miscommunication moments that opened the door for our opponents. In a league like this, you can't open the door. And so I was really proud of our team for staying locked in and focusing on completing the job for the whole game.
This is your first year with the team and getting to make championship again, getting to play at home. What's it been like to join this Falcons team this season?
I think this team, it's been really fun because I've played against a lot of these players for so long and have had like very few opportunities to ever play with them. It's obviously fun to play with a couple of my tower teammates from last season, but this season has been really fun about playing with especially there's a lot of women matching players who play mixed on the Falcons team. So getting them to play where there aren't man matching players, kind of sealing their glory a little bit. I've really enjoyed seeing how much Julie Mankoff and Lily Stepanidis have stepped up defensively. They play, I think, a little more offense for Mischief. So seeing their complete game and getting to hype them up and celebrate that stuff has been really fun.
Sounds good. And I talked to Slot before the game. Coach Manisha Ariani said that the goal for tonight was to put the league on notice ahead of championship weekend. You think y'all did that tonight?
I think so. The rest of the season, we've come out super strong in the first half. And I think, as a 4 seed, the fact that we had not played a complete game yet, I think any team that has to play against us is kind of feeling a little bit nervous. I think that we've showcased how deep we are, how many folks can step up when that moment presents itself. And honestly, when we're having fun and we're playing light, we can do anything. And I think that, yes, the league should be on notice.
Sounds good. Good luck at Championship Weekend. And a quick shout out to some of the sponsors of the Western Ultimate League: Breakmark, Discraft Fiction, Gloves, and Combat Candy. Thanks to all the sponsors, and see folks in a few weeks at Championship Weekend.